What's going on, guys? Brian here, and we're going to dive into a new post over on New World focusing on behind the scenes, the arena PvP. Now, as a reminder, this coming Thursday, if you're watching this in real time, if you're in the future, hello from the past, hopefully things are getting better in the future, one can hope. But this Thursday, the 26th of May, I'm going to be squaring off against the devs of, of New World and PvP Arena 3v3. I'm going to be bringing my controller. I'm going to hopefully try and represent the controller playing MMO community proud. So hopefully you can tune in. The link will be in the description for the Twitch if you're interested, and you can earn free rewards as well. But beyond all of that promo, I want to dive into this post because I think there's a lot that we can learn, and I like covering New World. I really do enjoy this game. Thanks for being here. If you want more New World content in your day, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like button, as it helps these videos out immensely. Greetings, adventurers. The new PvP arena requires effective teamwork to quickly defeat the other team. But what about the design details that you can't always slow down to admire mid-fight? New World gameplay design manager David Hall and game designer Patrick Smeldley joined us for a deeper look at the 3v3 mode's development, balance philosophy, and announcer. Let's go behind the scenes for a better sense of how the team strives to immerse players in this epic small-scale battles. So, Immersion started well before arenas came to life in sketches. That makes sense. Aesthetically, Patrick and the design team set out to create a battleground that ties into the lore of Eternum. Corruption looms throughout the outer sections of the arena, while adventurers fight around pillars without hazards or other distractions in the ring. This clean design allows players to focus in on competitive matches, perfect training conditions for soul wardens to prepare for the inevitable fight against the corrupted. The layout is based less on lore and more around balance. Fundamental questions about player count, match length, and level requirements help shape a 2D map of the arena. Next, the design team collaborated with artisans and engineers to convert it to a playable 3D space. Now, our first pass on the arena level ended up being way too big, and the arena took quite a long time to run around, which gave ranged players a real heavy edge in the matches. Now, design team went on to shrink the arena twice to achieve their goal for a tight focus mode that gives neither melee or ranged playstyles an advantage, following the PTR feedback, and also adjusted the pillars placement for better block initial lines of sight. So for their philosophy here, according to Patrick and David, the New World design team wanted combat to shine in a small space where players could outsmart and outplay one another without feeling the need to use weapons in the current meta. Playing during early playtest undermined what intention, because the life staff was like a competitive requirement. However, the team's decision to introduce a healing debuff is more than a simple balance solution. The change helps makes arenas all about playing your game your way. I guess unless you want to play a healer. Anyway, I'll move on. Let's break down the impact of the life staff debuff in more detail. And there are 12 weapons in New World. Every player can equip 2, and each one has 2 unique skill trees. If at least one player must use the life staff and even stand a chance of victory, then your team has drastically less options for different weapon combinations. Strategically, encounter players also suffer because of at least one person must know how to use the fight life staffs, and design team plans to stay on top of weapon balance throughout player feedback. Now, this is just me jumping in here when it comes to the balance aspect. Healing in PvP, I get that there's definitely like people who want to have that kind of fantasy in their player versus player, but they're kind of hitting on a point, especially with 3v3. Chances are, like, if the other team has that healing capability, then you're obviously at that disadvantage. What I like to see, and this is not saying that you have to agree with me by any means, what I usually like to see is that when the healing kind of job, or the class, or the weapon in this case, steps into PvP, their skills actually are augmented in terms of PvP rather than just overall being weakened. Imagine if that essentially you kind of putting out healing is more also like you heal by doing damage, and that could end up being kind of spread out and applied to all the weapons and all the jobs themselves, and kind of having that aspect. But that becomes a bigger complicated issue because New World is a PvE heavily focused PvP in PvE game. So I think we're going to see lots of balance and adjustment and philosophy when it comes down to this. So we'll keep it locked here. I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date on that. Or I'm going to shout out Lamoni. If you guys aren't following Lamoni, I'll try to tag him in this video. That way you guys can go check them out. Also doing lots of healing as well over there. Anyway, I loved watching New World's community personalities. Check out the arenas in the PTR, and I can't wait to watch strategies evolve once the feature is live. Now, I make sure to check the forums almost every single day and go through feedback. So on the experiences of our players, we have this feature, and we're really ready to help dive into the future development of it. Now, regarding community feedback, it is another major influence for the design team to create arenas and remove big barriers to entry. So the team has gone on to take aim at the arenas to make them more enjoyable for every type of player. And so these design choices, such as the 3v3 mode unlocks at level 20. I think this is actually good, especially as you level. If you find that you are kind of bored at that level, or like in 30s or 40s, it gives you another thing that you can do. One of the biggest, hardest challenges with the OPR system is that it actually opens up at level 60, so you have to do a lot of grinding to get your way up there. Now, this makes the arena a perfect training ground for PvP modes like Outpost Rush, which opens up at level 60, and War, which opens up at level 50, and have a far higher level requirements. Now, their confident adventurers can strut into battle with higher level friends for a challenge against more experienced combatants. New World features scaling, which means that the damage will increase and you'll take less damage, but large level differences still translate into big differences in damage, so be prepared for a tough fight. Players can easily queue up from any location, though the main menu, head towards your next destination and complete your other tasks, so there's no time wasted waiting for a match. And then players are also given the same consumables based on their level upon entering the arena. Use as many as you need to survive. Any unused items will leave your inventory and when you exit the match. They didn't want players to feel like they needed to spend hundreds of coin in order to enjoy this game mode. So Patrick followed this up. Equal consumables and similar levels across the team reward skill, coordination, and communication. But victory isn't the only intended way to have fun in arenas. Patrick and David hope that these little moments will, when players come together and one reload short from wiping out the other team or fail to win with the number of advantages, will just be as memorable as a big win or lose. Take advantage of these quick matches to improve the combat skills for all of the different PvP opportunities throughout a tournament. Now, the final section here is about the announcer. Really glad they added this. I think it adds a lot of flavor, a lot of character to the game. One of the stranger challenges the design team was faced with is how to handle the new mode's announcer. The announcer began as a way to make arenas more of a spectacle regarding, and if you prefer, unsheath your weapon in the ring or watch your favorite players from the stands of their Twitch channels. As development continued, the team explored several positions for him, like a floating platform that circled the arena. This was a great spot to hype up the crowd, but similar to the announcer at many sporting events, the developers felt that he should be inside the stadium on one of the primary platforms. A crowd was then placed around the announcer to help up in the rafters. Now it is hard to imagine any strike or shot without those fantastic cheers. We love the precedent on the announcer set with any future features like this one would definitely be up to consideration for the announcer of their own. Patrick said, who knows, maybe you'll meet an announcer out in the world in a tournament sometime soon. Thank you guys so much for supporting your faction in PvP battles throughout tournament, and the design team can't wait to see how players will interact with the arena, and looking forward to tuning, balancing, and even rule updates based off community feedback following the release of arenas in the May update. And I would say, like, for me and my kind of final thought as we wrap up this video is I'd actually like to see the announcer moved into OPR and into that mindset. It would be really kind of cool to see kind of a little bit more cohesion, especially with arenas, and that being brought over into OPR, because I think it would just be fun. I'd love to know your thoughts. So if you guys want to see the announcer brought more into the other modes of the game, sound off. It'd be kind of crazy to see if they were doing announcing in the invasions. I don't know. I think it just adds a lot of flavor, a lot of character, and obviously I'm coming from like a Destiny and a Halo where that announcing has takes place and exists, and I enjoy it. So anyway, maybe I'm just weird. Let me know either way in the comments. Thanks guys for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you in my next one, but until then, take care.
Yeah, it's time to chill out on the couch and read some comments. That's right. You know me when it comes to Destiny. I'm off with a clan, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh yeah.